Yeah, it's been recording like the last 2 minutes, so.
Great.
Come on in, everyone.
Maybe Justin can edit.
So before we tell the main story, we have to tell the backstory. When Angela and I first started dating, our third date took place in Dayton and Yellow Springs. And I wanted to do something kind of like, you know, epic, just kind of something out of the box. And I decided to go to Yellow Springs and, you know, brought wine and wanted to like drink in the woods.
Lunch.
Yeah.
It was very romantic.
And, you know, that was our third date, so, you know.
But at this point, we had only been conversing on Facebook, so we didn't have each other's numbers.
So keep that in mind. And, you know, went to Yellow Springs, walked around, and I told Angela that Dave Chappelle lived there. And she kept saying,
I was like, I was being kind of weird, and I wanted to see if he could react to my weirdness to see if it even would work. So when we were downtown Yellow Springs, I'd be like, Dave Chappelle, where you at? Let's hang out, Dave Chappelle. So I kept doing that like throughout the day when we were downtown, and so yeah, I was just seeing how he would react, and he thought it was funny, so that's good.
So we went to the woods, drank some wine, and then we decided to go to the Oregon District and explore there. And on the way there, I decided to cut across like 2 lanes on the highway really fast to get off at the exit. And there was a cop right there, and I was pulled over. And it turned out to be that my license was suspended. And the reason why it was suspended.
Third date. Third date.
So it was suspended because like 6 months prior to that, I failed to show proof of insurance, and I told Geico to fax, you know, whatever agency, and they, you know, didn't do that. So I was legally not able to drive, and Angela did not know how to drive stick. So we had to leave the car on the interstate and get in the back of the cop car. So
we didn't really know each other very well.
So while in the back of the cop car, I got Angela's phone number.
Well, the reason why is the cop was asking for his number. He doesn't like cats. They don't like him. So the cop was asking for his number, and I was like, huh, maybe I'll get yours too. And so then we got each other's number at that point.
Yeah. So the cop took us to
some mall
in
Dayton.
Yeah. And, you know, dropped us off, public place, and I called Geico to, you know, chew them out. I was furious because they, you know, they didn't do their job. And after I got off the phone with them, I sat down, I was frustrated.
We were outside.
And
okay, so we were sitting down outside of like this coffee shop, I think it was Caribou, and we were just talking, and he was frustrated, and I was like, oh yeah, it sucks. And then all of a sudden, there's like this voice from behind me, and it was this man, like deep voice, and he was like, yo, were you in Yellow Springs earlier today? And I'm like, Dave Chappelle.
You're like, yeah, we were. He's like, I thought so.
And he was with his son, and they just walked away, and we're like,
That actually happened?
He like trotted. Like,
yeah, he was
like, that's in Yellow Springs.
Well, what's crazy is
So
he
weird.
recognized us, and he was probably like, that's a crazy girl.
So, you know, we waited there for a little while, like, you know, a half hour passed, and he drove by, and then he waved at us. So we're like, you know, friends with Dave Chappelle.
Oh, you told me to invite him to your wedding.
Oh, you should.
I said invite John.
You should ask him to give you a ride. We can't drive stick.
So, I decided to get a taxi cab and just, you know, risk it. Just drove illegally back to Columbus, and, you know, that was the end of our date.
Yeah.
So, fast forward to now, and so a couple months ago, I was brainstorming with Jordan, Jared, and Justin at my apartment late one evening, and, you know, I was just telling them the story of Yellow Springs, and I was like, you know what? Like, maybe I should be posting info on the back of a cop car. And Jordan's like, whoa, Josh would do it? Like, he's, you know, he's a police officer. I'm like, oh yeah, we can get Josh involved. So a couple days ago, I met up with Josh, our police officer friend, and you know, mapped out our plan, how we can make this work, and, you know, figured out all the logistics. And his precinct is right in the middle of like Franklinton, like Hilltop area, like right in the heart of the ghetto. And he only has like a 15-minute window, like where he's available to do that because dispatch could call, and he has to go do whatever. So we like game planned it all out, and today I told Angela, or a couple days ago, I was like, walk off Saturday afternoon. I found this place in.
Wheels were turning.
Like I found this place in like Franklinton. I've been doing a lot of historical research for a client about the Franklinton history, so I was like, maybe you should like buy into that. It's like I found this really cool place. I'm gonna take you there. It's like it's indoors and outdoors. You'll see. It's really cool. I like it. So I found out later today that Angela was kind of expecting that to take place.
So the reason why though is because yesterday he was like, you should wear that one romper that you have. I was like, he never tells me what to wear. And then this morning he had a haircut.
But I tried to have like a normal day. I went to the gym, and, got coffee, then we went to the office. And
yeah, and he was like taking his time, and I was like, okay, well, I don't think this is really gonna happen. Like, it's just normal. He's not even dressed that night. So I was like, I actually texted Catherine. We were driving in the car, and I was like, it's not gonna happen.
So I was texting Josh, my police officer friend, and he told me, I'm sure you're nervous, but I'm nervous too. And I was like, just be yourself, just stay in character, you'll be fine. just act like you're on the clock, we'll be great. And he said, well, I have my partners with me today too, so just so you know. I'm like, all right, that's fine. So we're driving through Franklinton,
like neighborhood ghetto.
It was on Sullivan and Belvedere, and I drove down Sullivan. I didn't see the cop car. I was like, oh dang it, this could be bad. So then I turned back around.
When you don't see a cop car.
And I saw a car. I was like, yes, okay, let's go work out. So I go down Sullivan, I take a right on Belvedere, and then they turn around, they start following us, and actually turn down what we thought was a one-way street, because on the street, both cars were facing this direction. I was like, oh, maybe it's because I just turned down a one-way. And
I was like, oh, gosh. He always gets pulled over. He's like speeding or driving crazy, and I'm like white knuckles every car ride.
So Josh, comes up to the window.
And his partner comes up to my window. I'm like, oh, there's two. Because I saw him in my window. I was like, why on my side?
And, he's like, I noticed that you were driving kind of slow, looked like you were lost, and I ran your plates and noticed that you had a suspended license. And I was like, I don't know how that happened. I got a speeding ticket a couple weeks ago, which is true.
I did not know that was a lie.
So I was like, maybe that's why. He's like, yeah, well, it's illegal for you to be in the car, so I'm gonna need you to, get in the cop car.
Well, they asked me for my license too, and I was like, okay. And he's like, are you able to drive a vehicle, or is this I don't know what you call it, whatever license, driver's like a. You can drive any car. And I was like, no, I can't drive a stick shift.
Well, they knew that you couldn't. That's why they asked that.
Yeah, well.
So
I can, but it really doesn't work.
In other words, can't. Right?
So they took us in the back of the cop car. And Angela's like, this is like deja vu all over again. I'm like, I know. And I was like acting kind of frustrated, and I think I stayed in character.
I have no idea. No idea.
And Josh, before we took off, he's like, is there anything in your car you need to get out? I was like, yeah, I actually left my computer bag in there, and I left my hazards on. He's like, all right, well, you can come with me and get it out.
And I was like, wait, get my purse too.
And, so I got out of the car, opened the trunk.
So while he was doing that, though, I was calling Catherine because she knows how to drive a stick shift.
I was like, don't call Catherine, don't call Justin. I was like, she doesn't have that stick.
I was like, yes, she does. I remember the story. So I was like, Catherine, I'm in a pickle. I never say pickle. I said it. I don't know why.
That's like the only thing I could hear. It was like loud, and I was like, pickle.
So I was on the phone with Catherine. I was like, Catherine, go out to some hallway or something?
Yeah, so I was out getting coffee with a friend, and I was like, I think my roommate might get engaged today. And then we even decided beforehand. I was like, all right, text me a whale emoji if he proposes, and a dolphin emoji if he doesn't. And I told her I would do the same for you. I text you a whale emoji. And so we were like sitting there like drinking coffee, and I just got the text like saying like, I don't think he's gonna like propose today.
Yeah.
And then he called, and like all I could hear was like, I threw in a pickle, and it was like really loud. So like I went out to like the outside area where there's like I couldn't like the rest of the restaurant wasn't there, and like I was like, oh, Ange, are you there? Like what do you guys need? And all I heard in the background was like, yes! Andrew, you engaged? Where's our dolphin?
Well, I had thrown my phone on the seat.
Yeah, so like I went to the trunk and Josh is like, here, I'll guard you here.
I wasn't even watching.
Like we planned it so like, you know, he would stand there and I grabbed my bag and got the ring out, and then I came around the door and Josh opened it and you're on the phone. And then like I got down on one knee, you just threw it on me. Yeah.
And he got down on one knee and he was like, Ange, will you marry me? And I was like, yes. And I looked at the cops and they're like, they were on either side of him, like a step back.
They were there.
They were like overlooking.
Let me go back in their car.
It was so funny.
Yeah, we got out, gave them hugs.
Yeah, we hugged them, we high-fived them. So, that's the story.
Yeah.
Have fun. Thanks for coming. We love you all.
Love you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
But who do you love most?
Where are the cats? Yes. Keep drinking, eating.
Good story. Yeah, great.